It was an unfolding drama last night on David Letterman's show as he revealed this extortion scheme. His audience was so stunned, they kept laughing, thinking it must be one of his signature comedy riffs.
He told the audience someone had threatened to go public with his affairs with female employees unless he paid $2 million. The extortion suspect was arrested on Thursday after a sting operation involving Letterman and a phony check, and the suspect will be arraigned later today.
And right now, ABC's Andrea Canning is outside the theater where The Late Show is taped, and she has more. Andrea?
Good morning, Diane and Robin. And that someone is allegedly a CBS News producer, only adding more intrigue to this whole case. Now, Letterman last night, he didn't just stun his audience. He apparently told his staffers, his mom, even his wife right before the show, catching everybody off guard.
He's the funny man of late night, but this morning, David Letterman isn't laughing. The victim, he says, of an extortion plot that began 3 weeks ago when he found a strange package in the backseat of his car.
There's a letter in the package, and it says that I know that you do some terrible, terrible things, and I can prove that you do these terrible things. And sure enough, contained in the package was stuff to prove that I do terrible things. I just want to reiterate how terrifying this moment is.
The suspect is reportedly 51-year-old Robert J. Halderman, known by his friends as Joe. He's a longtime Emmy Award-winning producer for 48 Hours who has traveled the world for CBS News. Halderman allegedly threatened he'd write about Letterman's sexual relations with staff members in a screenplay and a novel if the comic didn't pay up.
I know you had sex with women, so I would like $2 million, or I'm going to make trouble for you.
But in a stunning admission to a seemingly confused audience Thursday, the married Letterman said he had to reveal to a grand jury he did in fact have the affairs at work.
The creepy stuff was that I have had sex with women who work for me on this show. Now, my response to that is, yes, I have. I've had sex with women who work on this show.
The late-night host is married to Regina Lasco, wed just this March after 23 years together, the mother of his 5-year-old son, Harry. It's not the first time he's taken on scandal head-on from behind his late-night desk. Just a few months ago, Letterman apologized to Governor Sarah Palin after what many considered an inappropriate joke about one of her daughters. In 2005, police uncovered another plot by a former late-night employee who threatened to kidnap his son, Harry. And in the 80s and 90s, Letterman was repeatedly stalked by a schizophrenic fan. On Thursday, Letterman said he responded to this latest plot by contacting authorities and setting up a sting.
So we took the stuff down there and they said, whoa, hello, this is blackmail. And a little bit after noon today, the guy was arrested.
Now he's handling the latest twist the best way he knows how, with a joke.
I know what you're saying. Oh, be darned, Dave's had sex.
We could not reach Halderman for comment, but CBS News did release a statement saying the producer has been suspended as this investigation continues. Robin?
Andrea, thank you so much. And joining us now from Washington with more on this is Howard Kurtz, who reports on the media for the Washington Post. And Howie, thank you for joining us this morning. And, you know, David Letterman goes out last night. Business as usual, his opening monologue, then there's a commercial break. He comes back, he's at his desk, and he says what he does. What do you think of the way he handled all this?
Well, he did leaven it with some humor, but Robin, John Edwards and a whole bunch of philandering politicians could learn a lesson from Letterman. I mean, he didn't cover it up. He went to the cops, and he came out and confessed to the national audience that he had had sex. He didn't have some mealy-mouthed phraseology about inappropriate relationships. But let's be clear, this is humiliating and damaging for a guy who just got married and who had to tell his audience, his fans, that he engaged in behavior that he described as creepy.
Yes, creepy. He kept saying that over and over again. Of course, we don't know the details yet, and so
we don't know the details, but we do know that at least two of these women worked for him, and so that raises uncomfortable questions about whether they felt any subtle pressure to have sex with the boss.
And Howie, what do you think the impact it will have on his career? Because he said, I feel like I need to protect my family, I need to protect myself, and I hope to protect my job.
You know, late night comedians have a kind of a delicate relationship with the audience. They're coming to people's homes when they're in bed. And I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time when he does the monologue jokes about, you know, the Bill Clintons and John Edwards of the world. Somebody's going to put together a tape with all the jokes that Letterman has done about the womanizing public figures. And I don't know whether some other late night comics will take shots at him. So if Dave Letterman becomes a punchline himself, clearly that undermines, I don't think he's going to lose his job over this, but it clearly undermines what he's trying to do out there as a performer.
Well, he's never had a squeaky clean image to begin with. I mean, he's taken on controversy head on, and he's used his program before as a platform when things have happened to him.
And I can remember, Robin, Letterman talking about, kidnapping threat against his family, the stalkers that often seem to target him, the apology, as Andrea mentioned, for the Sarah Palin knocked up daughter joke, which was way over the line. But, you know, one of the things about having a nightly hour is that you do get a chance to explain yourself, and Letterman took advantage of that, and he's fortunate to have that. And, of course, America is a forgiving country. And in the age of John Ensign and John Edwards and Mark Sanford, I don't think too many people are going to be utterly shocked that somebody rich and famous, was fooling around.
Well, adding to this, Howie, of course, is the fact that the suspect is an Emmy Award-winning network producer at his own network who covers crime. You don't exactly, it's not some random, fan. You don't exactly see this one coming.
Another shining moment for the news business that the suspect works for CBS News. And yeah, it adds another creepy element to an already disturbing story that this is an inside job. This is somebody who obviously knew Letterman was a respected guy who went around the world covering stories, and why somebody like that allegedly, as we don't have all the facts here, would do something like this just adds a lot more. There's a lot more to come out here. My first day reaction is Letterman handled it reasonably well, but this is not over by a long shot.
Well, thank you for your perspective, Howie Kurtz.
Thanks,
have a good weekend. Thank you.